So I finally got around to watching season 3 of The Boys, and unsurprisingly, I really liked it. I think it's pretty clear by this point for whomever has watched my videos that when it comes to superhero media, not only do I really like it, but I like it when it gets really brutal, realistic, and dark. So in other words, this show is exactly the type of superhero media I'm looking for. I mean, I like the bright, colorful superhero media with cute jokes as much as the next kid, but I've always said that I just want something for the adults like me who want things to get a little bloodier, more profane, and just a little more effed up. And The Boys is the perfect show for that. This is my kind of superhero media. I love this dark, fucked up shit. Fuck them kids, let's have some fun. And boy oh boy, was this season fun. I mean, you could tell this was going to be fun from the first episode when they had a guy crawl into another man's penis and just do the Ant-Man fan theory where Ant-Man beats guys by crawling inside them and then regrowing, blowing them up from the inside out. And it's just as vulgar as you think it would be. And that's the great thing about this show and what makes it so fun is that it seemingly has no boundaries. The only limit is the writer's imagination. If you want to make a scene where the Deep has a three-way with his Scientology wife and a BJ octopus, you're allowed to make that happen. You're allowed to make that scene. There's nothing saying you can't. At this point, I honestly think the writers are just trying to one-up themselves from previous seasons, and that is always a recipe for fun. But the main plot this season is that the boys are trying to find a super weapon that can kill Homelander, while leveling the playing field along the way by getting temporary superpowers. With Homelander getting to a point where he's lost so much and is being held back so hard that he eventually just snaps and doesn't even care anymore, the boys have to stoop down to the Supes' level and become Supes themselves in order to get certain jobs done. And this introduction of temporary superpowers makes the show way more interesting. We get to see what it looks like when the boys can actually fight back and how they use their powers. And the use of their powers translates very well into character development because the temporary super serum, Temp V as it's called, amplifies who you are, making you more of yourself. It's like the super soldier serum from the MCU, where when Steve Rogers took it, he became an all-good, virtuous, all-American hero, while John Walker taking it turned him into a corrupt, murdering lunatic. And you really see a lot of the same thing with the two guys who take the Temp V in The Boys, Butcher and Huey. And it's not just Butcher and Huey who get good character development either. Everyone is a lot more fleshed out, even some of the side characters who may not have gotten the spotlight as much in previous seasons. But as long as we're talking about characters, I want to talk about one character in particular, and that's Homelander. Honestly, I don't know how Anthony Starr does it because his portrayal of this character has struck genuine fear into so many people's hearts, including mine. He's just so unpredictable and unhinged, especially this season, that you honestly get scared because he might just decide to murk any character in a scene with him at any given moment, and there's nothing that can be done because he's this invincible, untouchable god. I think Homelander and Anthony Starr really shine this season, and in the show in general. The social commentary in this show is also great, and that's definitely one of the main selling points of a series like this, is that it's basically the social commentary superhero show. It's the realistic superhero show, the one which would be most likely to happen if this were to happen in real life. And that definitely plays into how scary some situations can be, because when you see some shit like Homelander shooting somebody in the street with his laser vision and not losing any supporters, that's scary because it feels so real. And some things they don't even try to make subtle. It's absolutely hilarious. Some things don't really make a whole lot of sense though, like during that one scene where Butcher and Maeve get it on, I thought we were actually going to go somewhere with that. Maybe Butcher and Maeve would enter into a relationship and try to keep it secret, and Huey would eventually find out and rail Butcher's ass for being a hypocrite. I thought that could be fun. But in the end, Maeve just retires to the farmland with her girlfriend, who I forgot even existed, and the fling between Butcher and Maeve is never mentioned again. Are you just okay with fucking this other guy while you were in a relationship with your girlfriend? Do you really not feel any guilt about that? Also, there's one point when Starlight threatens to expose Homelander for the incident on the plane, and Homelander tells her to do it because it will give him an excuse to destroy everything, and then Homelander says that if Starlight doesn't comply with his demands, he'll kill Huey. But then later, Starlight defies Homelander by quitting the Seven and exposes him by live streaming him confessing to his crimes, and then Homelander just doesn't do anything. He doesn't retaliate or kill anybody, he just starts focusing on his relationship with his son, Ryan. Like, what happened? This girl just quit working for you and exposed you in front of the whole world. How are you not more mad about this? Some other things also felt a little weird, like the one bit where they just launched into a straight up musical number, but I already explained in my last video where I reviewed the Guardians holiday special why I feel like that's always a bit weird. It's a little more appropriately done in this show though, because it was just a part of Kimiko's imagination, but still. And yeah, I think that's just about it. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this season because I honestly just liked it. There were a bunch of new choices in presentation this season that I thought were pretty creative. The story was pretty interesting, and in the end, The Boys just has that thing about it that just makes me love this kind of superhero media. So, 9 out of 10 for season 3 of The Boys. Easy score.